Hi, this is Mauvu doing your feedback. If you have any questions, just ping me in your thread. Okay. Temple, that's rune portal, and village. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about going for the village here because you had cows, right? So you don't need hay bales. The only thing you get is an iron pickaxe, but you've got gold armor from this rune portal, so you can get to the chest in the bastion um, safely pretty much every time. So unless like getting that iron pickaxe chest is really slow, like it was a treasure bastion or something, that's the only time. Okay. I I just like assumed your decision was made like straight away, but yeah, I think this is correct. Not going for the village. Because yeah, gold tools, gold armor. I mean, water proximity is a bit annoying, but gotta deal with it. But craft the iron. This is really like dragging like that is really annoying, and I don't blame you for you not being consistent. But yeah, just don't buttcraft instead. Um, as far as like prioritizing the animals, you kind of know there's cows over here, and I mean, I guess you might know there are sheep there as well. I just go for the water here. So like I'm doing the overworld in like more linear route. I'll go to the water, and on the way back, I'll look for the animals instead of like looking around here. Try look around while you're doing something else. I guess would be the main thing you'd want to be doing here. Also, looking at this overworld, it's hard to judge. Maybe that water is closer. There was like water over here as well. Just the one I was. It feels more linear, even if it's further. But yeah, it's hard to tell. Wait, there is water over there, right? I swear. Yeah, that's what. It's probably too far to actually be worth it, but don't really know. Okay, yeah, looks like we just forgot about the water until we'd done everything else. Okay, I don't like this. Oh no. Okay, look at it this way, right? So we get the water at 137. And let's go to when we're back there with the iron pickaxe. 222. Now that's 45 seconds, right? For the iron pickaxe. It's literally a treasure bastion, is the only bastion where it could be slower to get the iron pickaxe. Like 45 seconds is a long time. And we also wasted 3 gold on another gold axe and 2 sticks. When we'd like to have an iron axe. Like save those sticks to craft the iron axe. That's what I mean. Um, in ranked, like it's really like not really important, but it's just important to use thin macro instead of setting exchanges to E-ray, because even though that was fully overlapped with waiting for the chunks to load in, I mean, you should be using the setting that preloads the whole nether for you, I think. But yeah, and then you have to change it back, and that's just time loss when you could press one action key to toggle back to like your normal resolution within macro. Didn't really know what that was. I mean, if it's, I like trying to. So, are we trying to like sort our inventory while we're running? Because the way you would do that is in between one of these jumps, you double tap your inventory hotkey to like flash it on screen like a really small amount of time, so you can look at it, and then you can think where you need to put your cursor to throw out something useless. So you would open it and close it, and you see, oh, weeping vines, and you want to throw them out. And then in the next jump, you would open it and then move your cursor to there straight away, like pre-fire it, and left click on the weeping vines, exit your inventory, and they get thrown out automatically. Also, we might just be trying to get the vines on our hotbar because they can be useful to clutch. So, probably not worth throwing out straight away. Wasn't paying attention, but did we F3C on the nether enter? Just remembered. Yeah, it's you want to do it on every single rank seed really, because like you never know when you might just not be able to get 20, and then you want to have your home portal like every time accessible. Frostwalker. I mean, yeah, this bastion, the iron pickaxe definitely lost time. Okay, I'm never, especially in ranked, but like even in RSG, I'm not going for manhunt when it's lava and you've got all of this down the middle of it. Like, this is a really bad decision. This is gonna lose a lot of time because it's gonna be really hard to get your pigs across. Yeah, you definitely could have just gotten like just shot by another crossbow or something, and you're in this lava and you're probably dead. Yeah, they can't get past that. Like, when there's a lava block, the whole 8 blocks next to it, they won't path onto unless they've been pushed onto it by another guy. So you need to break these two and these two to avoid this block, which is like a block they will never path onto. I don't like that aggro because you're going for this route. I don't know what it's called, but if you leave pigs long enough, they inevitably, because mobs tend to pathfind upwards, you can inevitably get some guys stuck up here, right? And then like up here, like behind these netherrack, and if you break that gilded blackstone, those guys will be aggroed, so then when you come up here, they'll be coming down, and if it's a sword guy, you're just taking loads of damage. Um, I mean, you can go for fast hold here, like especially gold pickaxe, but I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to play safe hold, especially in ranked. I'd be cautious of throwing out too much gold for the pigs, because like I think the optimal amount is usually around like 12 to 15. I'd normally in ranked I'd go on the higher side like 50 gold to make sure that they all the pigs do one barter and then come down to your trading hall, like the proper one before their aggro wears off, and then they're just like wandering around, and then they might walk really far away, and then they get the aggro, and then it takes them ages to get back to your trading hall, and you lost time from like 2-3 pigs not trading for like 6 seconds longer than they should have been. Yeah, I mean, just get in the habit of boat crafting your iron, because I mean, you boat craft the bed. That's just hurts to watch. You can just boat craft the iron as well. Yeah, don't drag craft like drag crafting is good in the overworld because you can like overlap all the tools at the same time. Then boat crafting is so much better for netherbrick, glowstone, wool, bed, respawn anchor, iron axe, bow, like everything. Like you could just go on and on, like gold pickaxe, gold carrots, gold apple, uh, like extra gold armor, like anything. Like Eyes of Ender, blaze powder. Um, yeah, you want to get into the habit of pyring while you're mining the gold blocks, the bastion. Let me just watch this again. Oh, you got the annoying thing. Okay, so I mean, I can try and explain how you deal with this. There's a video as well in I think it's in Java code as well. I saw it. But you go down for backup 3, so you'll be back on 7, and you go over not back into the chunk you came from, into the one over here, like to the right, and then you might get a spike. If you do, you know where it is. You up your rendered, and if you don't, you up your render distance. You might get the spike then, and if you do, you know where it is. And then if you don't get the spike, then you will also know where it is. But it's hard to explain where exactly it is in those 3 situations, like without the diagram that the video has. I'll just link it to you so you know how to deal with this like annoying situation you can get. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's the normal case of where it's like full diagonal, right? Oh wait, is it? It's hard to tell with the like different way you're going about dealing with the weird pyro. Although, I mean, one thing I will say is in ranked specifically, I'm pretty sure it's extremely rare to get a second chunk. I'm not too sure how. I know the ranked filter says that the bastion is within 16 chunks of the enter, and then the fortress is within 16 chunks of that, which I think technically means you can get a second ring fort. if it's like all in a straight line and then the enter is off-centered from spawn, but most of the time you can just bank on the fortress being in one of the other quadrants, so you know it's either in the somewhere in the positive X direction or positive Z direction, because you're in the negative X, negative Z quadrant. I might just be proven wrong in a second here, though. Like, so I still don't really know where the fall was off of this pyro. Is it like, yeah, that this is always annoying when you like you know it's in the in the quadrant in this direction, but it's super far diagonal that it shows up as not even in this direction. Okay, so one thing with this hotbar setup, having the fire res on the hotbar, you normally, if you have muscle memory to pop fire as you leave the bastion with your first pearl, like you throw the pearl and you start drinking the fire res, or throw the pearl, splash the fire res, or you've hung a pearl, you up RD while popping your fire res, right? As long as that's muscle memory, you'll always be able to have like this slot free for your bed or something, or for like a diamond sword or whatever you want, or to pick up the blazer rods. Like, you just don't need fire res on the hotbar if you have it to be muscle memory of drinking it like at certain points in the run, like leaving the bastion and re-entering the nether from first portal is like the two like most standard ones that you do. Um, yeah, all of this inventory sorting. What should happen is you kill these guys. You pick block nether brick because I wasn't paying attention, but you should have. Oh yeah, I remember you drag crafted it, but you should butt craft it on the way to the fortress. But doing in the bastion is fine if you've got enough overlap time. But yeah, you should pick block nether brick, get your bed, and then blaze bed instantly. Like, none of this should be happening. It's not as important as blaze bedding. Like getting rid of 4 inventory slots is not as important as spawning in 2 extra blazers, essentially. You've got blazers spawned in, and your 3rd cycle is going now. So like you need to get these guys down like, as soon as possible, so you don't miss another blaze bedded cycle. Like when you're playing spawner, getting the blaze bed off as soon as possible is #1 priority. And then it's clearing out the fire. Then if it's on a enclosed one like this, you'd want to clear out all the remaining nether brick, and if it's exposed, then you'd want to build out your platform before you do that. And then after that, you've got the time to build your first portal, you've got the time to make beds, bow, gold pickaxe, whatever you want, craft eyes, all of that stuff. But yeah, look, because you didn't blaze bed in time, or like instantly, you would have had enough time to clear out all of the fire and all these like stray blocks. That, I mean, it's unlucky that it blocked. Like, this is not that bad for like having fire, but it still ended up blocking 2 blaze spawns on this cycle. This fire has like, it was on. I thought I saw something bottom one frame, but like you see it when you turn around here. I mean, that has to go as soon as possible. It's so important to get rid of orange fire. Like soul fire doesn't do anything to block spawns, but orange fire, the 3 blocks, any block within 3 blocks of it is blocked from spawning blazes because the light level is too high. And then yeah, just a micro thing. If this fire res isn't here, right, you could have had it as a bed to blaze bed with, right? And then after that, you put rods there so that when you're killing blazes, in between axe hits, you can craft your blaze powder in one and then craft your eyes in the next. So you don't have to do this little, like, 1 second of crafting. Standing on soul sand doesn't affect where your first ball is placed. Like, you have to be stood on a full block. It's like one that would say 75 here. Like you just shouldn't place the soul sand if, like, for that, because it doesn't do anything. I'd recommend trying to practice retimeless eye measuring. Because it's just like mechanical time save. It's not too difficult to learn. Yeah, you want to. Did we do fire res? I wasn't paying attention for it because it's not when it usually happens. But yeah, like at this point you would look down, throw the splash fire res, pick block that fire res to obsidian, and then you start eating. And as long as you're eating, when the animation, the portal animation changes dimension, it's gonna like finish the eating animation for you when you go back into the nether, so you don't have to like actually eat the whole mutton. Like, it's weird, but like the same thing happens when you go into the end. As long as you've started eating, when you change dimension, it finishes eating for you when you enter the new dimension. Why are we on like? This feels like we're on like 75 FOV. Like, we can barely see anything. 67. Like, I hope we're not going to zero cycle on this. Yeah, so again with that eating there, you can just, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain how you do it entering the end, but you just jump, and before your hitbox is like back in where the end portal's going to appear, it's like while it's still above that, you place the last eye in. So you fill in 11, you're looking at the last one, you jump, fill it in, and then press right click again to start eating. And then when you go into the end, like your hitbox falls back into where the end portal now is because you just filled in the portal. You start eating before that happens, and then when you come back into the end, it's going to like just automatically eat the food for you. Yeah, something else for mutton is like, I mean, that's more than enough to zero cycle with. So what I'd say is you can like aggro pearl here to the stairs and like eat like in the animation skip, and you can just eat mid zero cycle as well. It's like not that hard. But yeah, with having 4 mutton at the portal room, usually means you could have pearled a little bit more aggressively. Although I know it was a pretty like close structure seed. But one thing I would say in this post nether is like you were reluctant to like do a sprint pearl, like a sprint crawl pearl, which is, I mean, you've got so much food remaining. Um, yeah, into the end fight. So back 1 and 8. We're not going for it. Got 50 netherrack. And I'd say like being comfortable with 0 cycles is really important in ranked, because it means when you build up a lead, like you can't lose it to RNG. Like, so if you're just consistent at 0 cycling, then you're not going to just lose even when you have like a 30-second lead that you just like outplayed your opponent the whole run, and then but then you might just lose because they get a better perch or something. So if you're not comfortable with back dragon 1 and 8, maybe just practice more. And it's hard to like just tell like, oh, practice more, but I really like the more you practice, the less it feels like maybe like if you're failing the speed bridge, if you just do like daily practice of the zeros you find difficult, like eventually you'll be able to do them like really consistently. Um, why are we changing? Did I went back really far. Why are we changing field of view to pearl here? Like, you want to be on Quake Pro when zeroing, you want to be on Quake Pro when 1 cycling, so you have like a better view of the dragon, so that like the like visual indicator for the timing is like less like just appearing on your screen out of nowhere, because I'm assuming like most people look at the dragon's hitbox in relation to the bed to time the bed explosion. So like the more you can see of the dragon, the easier it is to like keep your eyes on the visual like hitbox, right? So like lowering your field of view is it's just not good. Like I just recommend trying to adjust to Quake Pro more like. Oh, okay, well, I didn't know they were still in the nether, so I mean bailing on a 0 is fine if you've got a massive lead. Like I wasn't really paying attention, but yeah. I mean, if you know you've got a massive lead, don't even take a single risk unless you want to really force the average completion down. But this is what I mean, right? With the 1 cycle. Like, the dragon's head just came out of nowhere for this timing, right? Like, what you're not looking at its head hitbox until like 0.3 seconds before you have to blow up the bed. So like it's just more difficult than it has to be to react to blowing up the bed, right? From the left it's easier because you're like looking at it angled, which is why when you're on Quake Pro you want to be like right up against the pillar so you can see both sides of the dragon rotation as well. Um, yes, wasn't uh wasn't as bad as you said you thought the run was. I thought it was pretty good. The one thing I'd say was I mean, the overworld going for the village kind of lost quite a bit of time. Like I think what 45 seconds, and then the real time loss was going for manhunt here was definitely not the play, especially with the massive lava fall down the middle of housing. That should just be like a massive alarm bell. Like I'm not doing manhunt on this if there's lava everywhere. In the fortress, just getting the blaze fed off like as soon as you can is always gonna pay off in the long run. And then in the end game, if you've preserved the food up until this point, make sure you convert having a load of food, convert it into time save, right? There's no point finishing the run with like extra food, right? You're finishing the run here on full health. Like you don't get extra points for that. Like it doesn't help you get more elo. Like I mean there's not really much to like say you could use it earlier. Like you could aggro pearl around here. Like you pearl over here and then pearl up to the fortress, but yeah, the main place you normally are able to leverage having more food is in the end game. It's like using that pearl to get the sprint crawl faster would have been ideal. Using the pearls in the stronghold is it's just like it's a little time save you can leverage on your opponent. Like there's lots of things you can do with extra health to like get time save. But yeah, I say that's everything. Obviously the quick pro, but already mentioned that. Yeah, if you have any questions, just ping me in your thread.